Hey friends, thank you so much for tuning in to Popcorn Fodder. I just want to take a moment to say thank you to all the people who've helped support the show being made. And if you want to see more episodes, there's one major way you can help, and that is to go to patreon.com/incrediblyhandsome and become a supporter of the show. For as little as $1 a month, you'll get access to every episode the moment it's released, and you'll also get behind the scenes photos, all kinds of cool, fun stuff like that. And of course, my undying appreciation and an always full container of poppin' corn. So head over to the Patreon if you get a chance, and most importantly, enjoy the show.
Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby.
Popcorn fodder makes me hotter.
The show's going. I think we should turn the lights on.
Lights coming.
All right, that's better. Hello, my friends. You can call me that because I'll be there for you. Unlike Henwolf. Welcome to Popcorn Fodder, where we watch the oddball and the truly oddball. I'm your host, Henrique Couto. Sorry about that whole thing. We try to reduce our electricity usage whenever we can. In fact, all our lights are energy-saving LEDs or compact fluorescents. And not just because we're cheap. Though we are cheap. This is popcorn that I actually get as a prop for about 5 cents shipping from some European country that I can't pronounce. It's made from asbestos, actually, but the price is right. If it ever looks like I'm enjoying it, it's acting. Many of the films I've made were done for the cost of a used car, so I'm no stranger to figuring out ways to squeeze fake blood from a stone. The early days of my career were spent very broke, living off cup noodles and peanut butter sandwiches with the occasional scrambled eggs when I wanted to get fancy. That gave me some habits that are pretty bad that I'm still working on breaking to this day with eating junk food. Eating healthy isn't that difficult in theory, but I'm a work in progress. Sometimes I'm lazy and I don't want to cook, so I'll let the kind folks at the restaurants do it for me, which usually means fast food. But Henrique, you say, how about some nice, wholesome Chipotle? No. Chipotle is the dull, tasteless death of Mexican food. Have you seen their logo? Their logo is the image of a chili pepper. Like those sons of bitches have ever seen a chili pepper in their entire lives of selling bland, quasi-Mexican porridge to soccer moms and yoga instructors. Whew. Goodness. If you're going to claim to serve Mexican food, here's an idea. Have hot sauces beyond 3 types of Tabasco. Taco Bell has more hot sauce options, and I'm starting to worry they're more authentic too. Every time I've eaten at Chipotle, all I can think is, hey guys, black pepper is like 75 cents a pound. Use some. You know, people complain, oh God, McDonald's is so salty. Well, at least they tried seasoning their food. Not like Chipotle, who assumes our taste buds are all burned off from Starbucks coffees and kombucha. What's it even matter, right? But Henrique, they use organic food. It's non-GMO, ASPCA, DMV, and LMAO. I don't give a rat's ass about organic food. It's a marketing strategy, and if you want to spend extra money on your food, that's your call. But you know, when I sit down for a meal after a long day of watching movies and talking about them, I know I certainly am hoping for a totally tasteless meal, and on top of it, politics! Because that's what was missing from the fast food, right? I mean, I would sit down and eat my Burger King and be like, you know, this burger is fine, but couldn't it be political? Couldn't I feel superior for eating this fucking burger? That's totally what's missing. I don't get to be better than anyone else. I'm not signaling my virtue by way of my farm-raised, cruelty-free meat because apparently they've mastered a non-cruel way of killing animals. Here's what you are, Chipotle. You're a purveyor of cheap food for too much money. You don't care about how it tastes, and one day, I hope you get what's coming to you. I wasn't even gonna go there. I don't usually rail against Chipotle, but it was that goddamn logo with that chili pepper. It's like if our logo was Brad Pitt's fucking face. False advertising, but at least it's all in the name of creating a better world. Whew. Well, I have a better example of... You guys shouldn't let me write stuff this angry. Kind of like Chipotle, tonight's movie is a hodgepodge of a film with a storied history as to why. This is usually the part of the intro where I tell you what the film is about, but I don't know! We're going to have to figure it out together. This film is equal parts gothic horror and narrative specimen, but it's a great ride with great actors by some of the legends in the film business. We'll talk about all that in just a little bit, but for now, all that is left to start is the terror. So let's press play and not eat another bullshit burrito ever again.
separated from my regiment at Arstadt. Do you have any drinking water? I'm very thirsty.
Clear water from the mountain.
Thank you. Hello. I'd like a word with you. You never said goodbye to me. In fact, you never even said hello. It isn't an act of treason to talk to me. I'm a weary, disillusioned soldier, and you're the only pleasant sight that I've seen in 7 months. Go ahead, it's permitted for you to laugh. Wait, you haven't told me your name.
My name's Elaine. Come on, I want to show you something.
What's wrong?
Rest yourself, young man. You're safe here. Here, take this for your strength. God knows help is a very rare thing in this forest. Take it whenever it's offered to you.
That bird, he attacked me.
I'm afraid you're wrong. She's quite harmless. Here. Hold out your arm. She only seems dangerous. Actually, she's very affectionate, which is very unusual for a bird.
Take it back.
Oh, that is too bad. Little girl liked him, didn't you? This is Gustav. He brought you here. Gustav fed your horse.
Where's Helene?
This is Helene.
No, not the bird. The girl. Where is the girl?
There is no girl.
Of course there's a girl. I saw her. She spoke to me.
Perhaps you were tired from your long journey and had a pleasant illusion. Gustav, have you ever seen a girl here? Gustav sometimes imagines things. If he could speak, I think we would find that his mind is warped. Such is the will of God, to endow and deprive. The only thing of beauty you'll find in this forest is Helene.
Hello. I was afraid you'd drown. So you are real. I started to think. Who are you? quicksand. The girl was trying to kill me.
She knows not what she does. Her will is not her own.
You mean she's insane?
Possessed. She needs your help.
Help? How can I help her?
The castle of the Baron von Lepp. You will find her there. I can say no more. There's great danger. Find Eric. Eric knows.
If you want popcorn, you can have one. Oh, you want the whole thing? So, what have we just seen? A soldier wanders a beach, fights a bird, chats with a woman or two, almost dies in quicksand. Typical Thursday night, right? I have my work cut out for me here, friends. As you have undoubtedly noticed, the narrative for this film seems to be just a series of montages strung together that kinda, sorta tell a story? Yeah. Released in 1963, The Terror, also known as The Haunting and Castle of Terror, is directed by independent filmmaking legend Roger Corman. Sort of. There were various directors brought on throughout the production, and we'll go into that a little later. Roger Corman is one of the most prolific directors and producers cinema has ever known. Naming just a few of his films wouldn't be doing him a fair amount of justice. He's directed more than 50 films and produced in the ballpark of 400 others. Let that sink in. Full disclosure, Corman is one of my personal heroes. In the 1960s, Roger Corman was making films based on the works of Edgar Allan Poe. They had sizable budgets and were financed by American International Pictures. After the wrap of his adaptation of The Raven, Corman noticed the castle sets for the film were just going to sit for a few days. So he went off and hired screenwriter Leo Gordon to crank out some quick pages. He then got Boris Karloff on a discount, having just worked with him on The Raven, to be in the film. Jack Nicholson was a common collaborator with Corman at the time, so he was a no-brainer to add to the cast. They shot what some claim was 2 days, others claim it was 4 days. When they were done, the film was cut together and they realized it didn't make a lick of sense, and over the next 9 months, 5 different directors would step in to shoot more footage to try to pull this project together. We'll talk about those brave men a little later. Starring horror royalty Boris Karloff, best known by damn near everyone for his portrayal of Frankenstein in the first of the Universal monster films, this was toward the end of his career when he was definitely looking to pay some bills, but also he seemed to be having a lot of fun in most of the films he did for Roger Corman. He passed away in 1969 at the age of 81, leaving a legacy hard to rival by any actor. Also starring a very young Jack Nicholson, and this is before he became a superstar. Nicholson originally approached Roger Corman to be a writer, but took a job as an actor because he just wanted to work. One of his most fun roles in a Corman picture is as the masochistic dentist patient in Little Shop of Horrors. We ought to show that flick at some point. I'm making a mental note. Alright, I think it's time we get back to it. Something is happening at the old castle. And I do mean something. The Terror. Let's press play. It is a terror indeed. Quoth the Henrique nevermore.
The ride to Colbin is long and far safer by day. If you leave now, you can rejoin your regiment by dusk.
Where is Gustav?
What do you want him for?
I want him to show me where the castle of the Baron von Lepp is.
No one's lived in the castle for years. And besides, Gustav has gone away for a few days.
Perhaps you'd show me the way to the castle.
Why are you so interested in the Baron?
I never said that I was. But the girl that I followed last night and spoke to, I believe that she lives there.
Told you. There is no girl.
That is nonsense. You recognize her, don't you?
No.
find the castle myself.
No, wait!
Don't go to the castle. I have told you the truth. There is no girl. Mark me, you are getting yourself into things beyond your understanding. Leave now, while you can.
I intend to find her.
Please don't tell the Baron that I am here.
Hello? Is anyone here? Hello? It's me, Andre. In the name of the government of France, I order you to open this door.
Your pardon, young sir. I was at my devotions. I did not hear you.
I'm sorry, sir, but surely I made enough noise to awaken the dead.
The government of France. I've seen the uniforms of many governments in my time. What would a soldier of France be wanting here?
Shelter, for one thing. Permit me to introduce myself, Lieutenant Andre Duvalier, 5th Chasseur.
Baron Victor Frederick von Lepp. I suggest you will find better shelter at the village inn.
Thank you, Baron, but I've had my fill of village inns. Surely you wouldn't want to inconvenience a French officer.
Come in. What you see, Lieutenant, are the remains of a noble house. Relics, ghosts of past glories.
A noble heritage is something to be proud of, Baron. I'm afraid we've forgotten that in France.
Ah, yes. Your name, Duvalier, your family.
My father was the Comte de Valier. Was until they spilled his head into a basket one morning in the Place de la Concorde.
Forgive me for reviving painful memories. You must be cold and tired, Lieutenant. Some cognac?
I'd like that, Baron. Thank you.
Sit down. Stefan?
Yes, Baron.
Cognac for our guest.
Yes, Baron.
Baron, I wonder if I might ask, who was the young woman I saw in the window before you came to the door?
Young woman? Oh, I'm afraid you're mistaken.
No, I'm not mistaken. I saw her. Dark hair and eyes, about 20.
Well, I'm quite sure you think you saw someone, but...
Baron, I am in full possession of my faculties.
Please, allow me to show you something. You should never believe everything your eyes tell you, young man. Is that the girl you think you saw?
Yes, of course.
Before you say anything else, examine the portrait closely, the signature, and above all, the date.
$1786? But that's 20 years ago. It's incredible. It's the same girl, and she hasn't changed a bit.
She has been dead for 20 years.
With all respect, Baron, for a ghost, she's a very active young woman.
You're speaking of the Baroness von Lepp, my wife.
I beg your pardon, Baron. I meant no offense. Perhaps the resemblance was not quite as much as I had thought. The girl at the window...
Lieutenant Duvalier, the only occupants of this castle are Stefan and myself. You are the first visitor since the turn of the century.
Of course, Baron.
Stefan will see you to your room.
Thank you. I'm coming down. Wait for me. Unlock this door. Do you hear me? Unlock this door. I'm going to shoot through the door.
Popcorn Fodder is proudly brought to you by Henflix.com. Wait a second, isn't Henflix.com my movie web store? Well, it is, because honestly, I put my money where my mouth is. So the only sponsor we have on this program is my web store. So if you love independent film, whether it be horror, comedy, anything in between, go to Henflix.com, grab yourself a Blu-ray or a DVD. You can also find copies of Popcorn Fodder Season 1 and hopefully Season 2. You know, we're gonna try. So if you want to support the show in a very direct way, go to Henflix.com, get yourself a movie, and have a good time. You want something meatier than popcorn, huh? All right, your poor old man can't afford meat for himself, but you get some. And you throw it back at me. Good girl. Hey, our hero wandered more, but this time ended up at a wonderfully creepy castle, made more so by the presence of Boris Karloff. I'm sure he has no deep, dark secrets. You know, with this young man wandering in a foreign land before arriving at the foreboding castle of a sinister aristocrat, an abode fraught with dark secrets and heavy shadows, the terror could almost be taken as an unofficial adaptation of Bram Stoker's Dracula. I'm fancy, I say Bram Stoker. Did you hear that? Was that good? No one will ever know I dropped out of high school. All right. In particular, the beginning portion of the novel, though admittedly things end up much different than the events in that timeless story. The Poe influence is strong, as The Pit and the Pendulum, The Raven, and Premature Burial were all films Roger had created leading up to this one. We get the first appearance of Dick Miller, credited here as Richard Miller, which is, I'm sure, just to class up the joint, playing Stefan. Miller was what you call a character actor. A lot of people define character actors as that guy in that thing. A performer you've seen plenty in little roles here and there and recognize immediately, but can't quite place their name. Dick Miller would make great appearances in Gremlins 1 and 2, and a very memorable cameo in Terminator, and of course, as the memorable garbage man in The Burbs. Miller passed away very recently, actually, in January of 2019. That's this very year, at the age of 90. He was working right up until the end and amassed more than 180 credits as an actor in that time. There's a great documentary about him called That Guy, Dick Miller. You should watch it. I already miss seeing him pop up in random movies. It's nice seeing him so young in this movie, especially with his New York accent that's totally not out of place in the story. One of the 5 directors tasked with tying this film all together is a name that will certainly surprise almost all of you. A man by the name of Francis Ford Coppola. Yes, that's right. The man who brought you the Godfather films and Apocalypse Now was running and gunning for Roger Corman, making it up as he went along with Jack Nicholson. For several famous directors like Ron Howard and Martin Scorsese, working for Roger Corman was way better than film school, although I can name several dental procedures that are better than film school. It was how they got their first break and learned the chaotic ropes of feature film production. All right, we seriously need to try to figure out what the hell is going on in this castle, so back to the terror. Let's press play. I'm gonna just... You know, it's been brought to my attention, people are like, must be like going like, woo, when they hear me like pop the tabs. These are diet sodas. Just wanted to set the record straight. These are diet sodas with this neat koozie just to hide the brand names.
I kept to the shadows, sir. He did not see me. He's a strange one, though. He showed no fear.
Well, he must leave at once.
You think perhaps he is not merely a traveler?
Why do you say that?
He might have heard things in the village.
Oh, nonsense. He's a soldier. He doesn't listen to old wives' tales. The important thing is that he leave with all due speed.
I shall see to it, sir.
But of his own accord. We must show him the respect his position and rank demand. Outward, lad.
I understand, sir. Must you intrude on a dead as well as a living?
If I intrude, Stefan, I shall leave it to my host to so inform me.
Why have you come to Castle Von Lepp? What do you want here?
You seem to have things strangely confused in your mind. You're the servant, not I. I'll ask the questions. This was once a place of worship. Why have the holy objects been removed?
The Baron ordered it. When his wife, the Baroness Ilsa, passed away.
Then this became her tomb?
No, just the entrance to it. The Von Lepp family crypt lies below, beneath the cemetery. She rests there with 4 centuries of Von Lepps. That's been sealed for 20 years.
Nonsense. It must have been open last night. The girl must have passed through here.
As the Baron told you, sir, there is no girl.
No girl. Well, we shall see. Come with me to the stable, Stefan. I wish to attend to my horse.
Wait, Lieutenant. That's what I came to tell you. Your horse is gone. Apparently it bolted during the night.
Impossible. You're lying. Why?
No, sir, I'm not lying.
Hear me well, Stefan. I'm sick of all of these lies. First the old woman, then the Baron, and now you.
The old woman, you mean?
Never mind. What about my horse?
I shall get you another one from the village at once, sir. Believe me, Lieutenant, I have no desire to interfere with your departure from this castle.
You seem very anxious to be rid of me. Is it because you're afraid I might find out about Eric?
Eric?
So there is an Eric. That at least was not a lie.
Lieutenant, please, don't involve yourself in these dead matters. There is nothing here but an old man and his decaying memories. I beg of you, leave him in peace.
Will you join me, Lieutenant?
No, thank you, Baron. I've just come from the stables. My horse is gone.
Your horse is gone?
Yes, I believe it was stolen, Baron.
Oh, impossible, Dick. The stable door perhaps was left open and the animal bolted. Not an unusual thing.
In itself, no. But there are certain other mysteries I would like to have explained, Baron, and I mean to have them explained.
How dare you take that tone with me?
I don't mean to be abrupt, but I will have answers.
Well?
Now, why did you remove the portrait of the Baroness from the wall?
I sent it away for renovation. The dampness of these walls puts a mold on the pigment.
You evade very cleverly, Baron. Can you also explain the violin music and the girl in the chapel last night?
You saw her again?
So you admit there's a girl?
Ilsa.
Ilsa, is that her name? Answer me, Baron.
Please, please, leave me in peace.
If I leave you now, Baron, I will come back with a company of my men, and I will tear this place down around your ears until I find her. Is that clear?
Very clear.
All right, now, what happened to the Baroness? Was her death violent?
Yes, her death was violent.
How did she die?
You spare me nothing. 20 years ago, I was not the man you're looking at now. This land, this estate prospered. My people lived well and were happy. My wife had died some years before, and I was lonely. And one day in the village, I saw Ilsa, a peasant girl who'd come to live there with her mother. Oh, I could have taken her. Nobles have taken the daughters of peasants since the beginning of time, but I loved her. And she became the Baroness von Lepp. Almost immediately afterwards, I was called away for military service, a rebellion in the Polish province. I was gone for nearly a year. When the fighting was over, I hurried home to my bride. No one knew of my coming. I surprised her in her room. She was not alone. She laughed at me, said her bed was not for me to find another. With my own hands, I killed her.
And her lover?
Stefan took care of him. Later, I gave out a story that she had died of some malaise. No one ever knew of her betrayal of me, or how, in fact, she did die.
Except for Stefan.
For 20 years, I've not set foot beyond the walls of this castle. I've lived here alone with the memory of the dreadful thing I did that night. That is my penance.
And now you believe what? That the ghost of Ilsa has come back to relieve you of your penance? Is that it?
Yes.
How long has the spirit been coming to the castle?
It all began 2 years ago. At first I was terrified, but now I'm eager for our every meeting.
One more question, Baron. Has anyone else except yourself seen the spirit? Stefan, for instance.
You think I'm mad, don't you?
Right now, Baron, I'm not sure just what I think.
Ah. But don't forget, you saw her too. Perhaps we're both mad.
The name sounds strange to me here by the sea.
It is your name. Don't you remember?
My name is Helene. The old woman told me.
She lies.
She summoned me from the sea.
You must go back. Your soul is troubled, Ilsa.
Go back? To Eric?
To the sea.
Only when the sea enters the crypt. We shall rest there together, he and I, beneath the sea.
It is an evil thing. You must not do it, Ilsa.
I must obey the old woman.
The Frenchman, he can help you, Ilsa.
Andre? One calls. She warns you, Gustav. Do not interfere. She's been patient with you long enough, but no more.
Tetragrammaton, tetragrammaton, mephroton usagula, metheos abios. O powers of darkness, let the spirit of Ilsa sink deeper, deeper into this mortal form. Helene, be as though you never were. Spirit of Ilsa, see through these eyes. Speak through these lips. Do my bidding. For only then shall you find release from your torment. You are becoming stronger now. Quite strong. Soon you shall have the strength to carry out my vengeance. Vengeance. And the dark powers will set you free, for I have promised them a richer price.
Good afternoon.
Who are you?
An appropriate question, but I'm afraid I'm the one who should be doing the asking. I'm invited in, of course.
What do you want of me?
You realize that this is the property of the Baron Victor von Lepp? And that is forbidden for any of the villagers to set foot here, much less make it their home? How long have you been living here?
Only 2 months.
Perhaps I should tell you. You see, I've just come from Kleinschmidt, where you are not totally unknown. You've lived here slightly more than 2 years. Your name is Katerina, and you originally come from Colburn, where you were quite unpopular because of, certain activities. They call you Katerina the heretic, the witch.
They were fools.
Why do you live here? What do you want?
I haven't any money. This was the only place that wasn't burned to the ground, so I brought my things in here.
Where did you find the girl?
Is no girl.
I saw her. She was sitting in this chair.
There is no girl.
I know what she is. Old woman, I know what she is. Listen to me, and listen to me very carefully. I don't know what you want, nor do I fully understand your black abilities. But if the two of you have not returned to Colburn within one night, I shall come back here and kill you with my own hands, and burn this place to the ground once and for all.
And you know who once lived here all those years ago?
You know who lived here?
Eric.
Let's see. We have undefined mysteries, scenes that seem made up on the spot, more beach. Look, if you feel like you are running a fever and are drunk, then you might be following the narrative perfectly. While the story is a struggle, one thing that definitely does work in this flick is the performance of Boris Karloff as the tortured Baron Victor Frederick von Lepp. His mannerisms and aristocratic manner of speaking display an arrogance that only serves to hide the guilt and remorse the character feels over the dreadful deeds of his past. Corman was wise to cast such a skilled professional, and Karloff's performance manages to glue the disparate elements of the patchwork performance together and gives it a much-needed anchor for the doubtlessly confused. See, Hen Wolf's so confused, she's done. Plus, I'm nearly positive Karloff is the sole reason the film got a decent release from American International Pictures, one of the big dogs, not to be confused with that big dog, one of the big dogs in the independent film business. Another of our directors on this piece was Monty Hellman, who went on to make several very fun films, including Two-Lane Blacktop, Silent Night, Deadly Night 3, Better Watch Out, and Iguana, about a sadistic, disfigured man terrorizing a couple on a desert island. That one is a good one, if that didn't sell you on it. Silent Night, Deadly Night 3 is actually a personal favorite of mine. I'd call it a guilty pleasure, but let's be real for a minute. I don't do guilty pleasures. It's just plain pleasure to me, kids. It features Bill Moseley with a glass dome on his head, revealing his brains inside, and a psychic link between said brainy Moseley and a blind girl, and it just truly captures the spirit of what Christmas is all about. Monty Hellman has around 20 directing credits to his name, and I think he doesn't get nearly enough praise. He's made some damn fun films, and I'm thankful for him. Another director, Dennis Jacob, was brought on board to turn the film around as well. Later, he worked as a bit of a technical advisor for some movies here and there, and then he quietly left show business. But his legacy can be The Terror. Once upon a time, I put in a stint as a second unit director, actually. For those who don't know, a second unit director handles scenes the director doesn't have time for. Technically, the folks we have been listing are, I guess, second unit directors. And I was once on a zombie film when I was 20 years old. And the film is, to this day, unfinished, by the way. I was on set bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, ready to work on a real feature movie. The guy who was directing the film was in way over his head. He had 50 or more zombie extras, makeup artists to manage, just a huge, huge ordeal. So I was given a camera operator and told to get a shot of a zombie, someone shooting a zombie, Simple stuff, but it was very fun. It was a really good time. I didn't, however, realize that I was actually the most experienced person on set and what trouble I was in until the producer asked me if I needed anything, and I said, "We're running out of blood." That's right there. That right there, kids, that's a red flag. The fact that we didn't have more blood on a shoot all about splattering zombies is kind of inexcusable, but he asked me what he could do, so I told him, go to the grocery store and grab a bunch of corn syrup and a bunch of red food dye and we can make do. Well, he returned and I told him, mix it up. Go to our makeup team and they'll help you. When we started the next shot, it was simple stuff. Blood needed to splash a woman in the face. I yell action and bam! It hits her right there and there's nothing on her. It turns out the producer couldn't find corn syrup, so he bought corn oil. Yeah, the film is still unfinished and I think we know why. It's time to get back to that damn castle and find out what damn thing that damn Baron is up to. So let's press play and Henwolf can just enjoy sleeping on the concrete, just like her papa. Pinky's up because we're in an aristocratic castle.
Has the Frenchman gone?
No.
Why not?
He now refuses to leave. I don't think he will leave of his own accord.
He must. I gave you definite orders.
Baron, no one knows this officer is here. If he should never arrive in Copeland.
Are you suggesting that...
It's the only way.
That I will never countenance. God knows I have enough upon my conscience without the senseless murder of a young man who never harmed me.
How do you know what harm he plans? You want him wandering around the castle? Do you want him down in the crypt?
Enough. The crypt is no concern of yours.
Come to me. Come to me, Oliver. I need you.
Where are you?
What is the meaning of this intrusion?
I'm sorry, Baron. I thought I heard voices.
Does that give you the right to burst into my room unannounced?
I beg your pardon, Baron.
Stefan has gone to the village to get you another horse. It will save us both embarrassment if he will leave the moment he returns.
There can be no doubt of it, sir.
Ilsa?
You're doing the best thing, Lieutenant. The Baron often does things which may seem strange to you and me, but the death of the Baroness was a severe shock to him. One from which I fear he has never fully recovered.
I understand completely, Stefan. Tell me something, Stefan.
If I can.
Who is Eric?
You recall the Baron spoke of returning from the war and finding the Baroness with another?
Yes.
Eric was that other. Gustav. She has seen you. She loves you. You must help her. Tonight, her soul cries out for release. Go back.
I've waited for you so long.
I've been searching for you, to help you. But you wander in strange places at strange hours.
You're really here.
Of course I'm here. And I'll never leave you again.
Never. When the night comes, I get cold. My arms and my shoulders get cold. I don't like the night. I want to be free of it.
You are free.
Only in here, in this holy place.
No. Everywhere with me. You must come away with me now.
No, I can't. Not until...
Until what?
The crypt. It must be destroyed. And with it, the dead.
Don't speak of the dead anymore. You're with me now.
I am possessed of the dead.
You're a warm, living woman. Who has told you these things?
The dead.
In Paris, they're doing wonderful things to discover the nature of the mind. I'll take you there. There are doctors who can free you from this...
From the dead?
The dead cannot reach out from the grave. You must come away with me now.
No. I'm afraid. The night.
There's nothing to be afraid of. You see? Love me and there is no fear.
Yes, Andre. I do love you.
Then come away with me. Wait here. It's all right.
my love, you are not alone. I am here with you now. Soon I will join you in eternal sleep. Stefan will flood the crypt and seal us here together with our love. Elsa. 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 Why do you not talk to me?
I am here, Victor. I've been waiting for you.
My love. My love.
You know what you must do.
Anything I will do that I dare not. Do not ask me, I beg of you.
You must, or we can never be together.
No, I cannot, I dare not.
Look at me, Victor.
Elsa, why do you torment me so?
You must do it, Victor. Only then can we be together. Only then, Victor.
I cannot. I dare not. My soul will be damned to eternal perdition.
Let me see who you really are. No! Don't go back! You must not! No! Let me go! What kind of a woman are you? Where are you? Who are you? Helene!
Guys, I know tonight's movie might be pretty scary to some of you, but there's something even scarier. Social media. If you want to follow me day or night, you can go to Twitter or Instagram at Popcorn Fodder or Facebook.com/Popcorn Fodder, or you could even write me an email at popcornfoddershow@gmail.com. Just know that I'm very afraid. Oh, if you'll excuse me, I'm gonna look for pennies under here to finance season 2. Here, I got some from my dealer. Oh, good boy, good boy. Things are seemingly coming to a head as the Baron's guilt over his murderous past is starting to become dealt with, which could pass as an engaging narrative. And that is why it's time for me to talk about the film's utilization of excellent sets, including not only the interior of the Baron's castle, a cavernous abode laden with heaps of Gothic set dressing and midnight black shadows. It's a convincingly menacing place, and one can easily believe a man such as Baron von Lepp would turn it into some sort of tomb in which he hides himself from the atrocities he committed in his life. And the castle really becomes a character in the narrative unto itself. Also on hand is a beautiful, if stagey, cemetery set that brings to mind the Universal horror classics in which Karloff starred in his heyday. The cinematography really can't be faulted either, though our terrible print of the film may not do it justice. Remember, kids, our prints come from only the finest gas stations outside of Toledo. Back on the topic of directors, another person who helped bring this baby into the world is exploitation master Jack Hill, who is listed as a co-writer on the film as well. He takes the helm, and let me tell you, well, not to be confused with Monty Hellman. He doesn't take the helm, and that was wow. Chicano's just like, why did you adopt me? Couldn't I have stayed in foster care? I'm sorry. I was told there'd be no puns. I'm sleepy. Hill is best known for excellent blaxploitation standards like Foxy Brown and Coffee, but also for a true women in prison genre classic, The Big Dollhouse. One thing I've always loved about Jack Hill's work is that it's always a hell of a lot better and more competent than you'd expect from the type of fare it is. The man always delivered. And I wanted to take a minute just to salute him. The final director involved in this picture is none other than Jack Nicholson himself, who requested to direct the excellent climactic scene which we're about to see, and I'm not going to spoil it. This film is really about to pull out all of the stops, so I say we quit jawing and get back to the intrigue. The terror is waiting. Let's press play. You want some? He's adopted.
Is there a doctor in the village?
His illness is not of the flesh. I've seen this before. In a day or two, his mind will return. We can only wait.
The Baron tells me you've been with him since the Polish campaign.
That is true.
Then you must have been in this castle for 20 years. You must know every section of the estate. He's regaining consciousness.
No. He often moans during these seizures.
You have keys. Fetch them. I'd like to see the chapel.
The chapel?
Yes, if you don't mind.
Hinges are rusted solid.
Do you have a crowbar?
Yes, come with me.
What is it?
That light there. That's the Baroness's bedroom in the tower. The room's been sealed ever since that night. Not even the Baron would enter.
Come with me.
Only the Baron has the key to this lock. Lieutenant, don't! The Baron should find out we've entered this room.
The Baroness have a child?
I don't know. I never thought she did.
You spare me nothing.
Baron, if you'll permit me, I think that I can explain.
Stefan.
Forgive me, Baron. I only have...
Take this gun. Escort this gentleman from the castle. If he resists, kill him.
Yes, Baron. Lieutenant.
My love. My love.
I'm here, Victor.
I'm weary, Elsa. My soul cries out for relief.
There is but one way, Victor.
No. The holy covenants of God forbid it.
You will be forgiven.
If I could be sure.
Take your life as you took mine. Let your own hand destroy you and bring us together forever. Forever. No more torment, Victor. Forever. Forever.
I will, Ellison. I will. I promise you, Lieutenant, if you return to Von Lepp Castle, I shall not hesitate to kill you.
Why did you lie to me about the girl? Call it off.
Doesn't matter now. You're too late. Tonight he damns himself. Yes, even now she taunts him to his own eternal doom.
You control the girl just as you control that bird. How? Mesmerism?
Mesmerism, you fool.
Why? Answer me, old woman, or I'll break your neck.
To avenge myself on the Baron von Lepp. She will drive him to God's one unpardonable sin. Suicide.
For what offense? What has the Baron done to you?
He killed my son, Eric.
Eric was your son?
Yes. And tonight the Baron pays for Eric's life with his own immortal soul.
She spoke of destroying the crypt.
Too late. Too late.
We must get to him. He's locked himself in the crypt.
Eric is avenged.
Eric avenged?
She's used the girl as a puppet to drive the Baron to suicide.
But why?
She thinks it was the Baron that killed her son. She never knew it was you.
What do you mean? He killed my Eric.
Eric is her son?
You murderer!
No, wait! Don't you see now it was all a lie? The Baron did return that night to find Eric with the Baroness, and he did kill her. But there was a struggle, and in the fight, it was not Eric who died, but the Baron. I killed the Baron.
Then Eric is still alive?
He took the Baron's place, and for 20 years, no one has known. But he took the Baron's place in mind as well as body. In his mind, he is the Baron von Lepp.
The crypt. She's told him to flood the cellars. Now they'll both be killed. Eric.
Flood the cellars? How?
There's a tunnel that leads from the sea to the crypt.
Come with me. locked it from the inside. Good. You keep on here. I'll try and get in through the chapel. I may need you.
No, not the chapel. I may not enter the house of God. I have made my pact with another. No, Couto, no! Ah!
I am here, Ilsa, my love. This time, forever.
Now, Victor. Now. I am waiting. Hurry, Victor, hurry. Now, Victor, bring the sea into the crypt to mantle us forever. We will be together again, Victor. Together with our love here beneath the sea. Come to me, my love. Draw the veil. Look at me. And see how eagerly I await your embrace.
What have you done to me?
I have damned you as you damned me. The part of me that loved you lies there, Victor, rotting in the coffin. Look at it. See what your evil love has done to me and die with that vision in your brain.
Why have you done this to me?
I am the spirit of Ilsa that your unholy sin gave over to the dark powers. But now, by giving your immortal soul to them, I will be free, Eric.
It's over. It's over. Do you understand? You're free now.
Free, Andre.
What a closing image! Melting face and huge music cue, and that's your film! Aren't we so lucky Gustav gained the ability to speak, which then gave him the opportunity to attempt to completely explain the plot to us? Attempt, that is. I do love the twist that the Baron wasn't the Baron after all. They were certainly putting in effort, and they managed to keep me entertained pretty much the whole way through, and I hope you guys were entertained with me. Excellent choice with the castle being destroyed in a flood. It was very typical in that era for every castle to burn down, so it was really enjoyable to see them turning that on its head. Water over fire, like my favorite Captain Planet. So there it is. What exactly this is on you. But now we have to ask, what have we learned? Recycling things isn't always a clean-cut and moral decision after all. When writing a feature-length script, Post-it notes are all you need to get the job done. Being born a mute can be instantly cured so long as everyone forgets that you were one. Birds and beaches will kill you. Well, my friends, the terror has come and went, but will it ever truly leave us? Thank you so much for watching A Flick with me. I had a great time, and I hope you did too. Chicano seemed to have a pretty good time too. He's just kind of chilling out. So, and Henwolf, well, let's be real. She's probably robbing a bank right now. She heard me reference the Doberman gang in an earlier episode and was like, I could do that. So, yes, I make voices for my dogs and I'm 32 years old. Anyway, remember, there are no bad movies, only bad audiences. For Henwolf, who's committing larceny, Chicano right here, and myself, later. For old time's sake. That's the failure I've come to expect in life.
Ladies and gentlemen, this picture contains scenes which under no circumstances should be viewed by anyone with a heart condition or anyone who is easily upset.
Ladies and gentlemen, bad boys and naughty girls, put your hands together for the Devil of Dayton. Please welcome your handsome host of Ohio, Henrique Couto.